I don't need you as much as I need to, and I don't miss you enough when you're not around. If I love you better by now.
Andres, we're here together today.
We are.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Set up like we're playing Battleship.
It really does look that way.
Laptop Battleship. This would be the future.
Of Battleship?
Yeah, did you have the one that like made sound effects when you were a kid?
No, we just had the pretty basic one.
The one that you had to pretend?
Yeah.
So when I was a kid when Battleship had commercials on TV.
Oh, you're so old.
Did you see commercials for Battleship?
No, I just remember like Bop 'em Sock 'em. They were like the big balloon things that you could put on your hands.
Sock 'em boppers?
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, right. Well, never mind.
More fun than a pillow fight?
Yeah.
Man, they made stuff like that look so cool.
Yeah, what do they make for these kids?
I don't know, because I think they can't false advertise anymore, which is kind of a bummer.
So sad.
Speaking of false advertisement,
yes,
I'm really excited today about what we're about to do.
Well, wait, before we do what we're going to do, can I give you my gift? I've never gotten to give a gift on the show.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And you were mad that I didn't have a gift, but I have the perfect gift.
That's a secret. You're not supposed to tell people.
Sorry, but I have the gift. Are you ready?
The gift?
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Is it a gift that you can do, like, is it magic?
No, not magic, but it's pretty great. Are you ready for it? I'm not singing either.
Okay.
So I just need you to close your eyes for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're at the relationship level where I can trust you with my eyes closed.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this part of the magic trick?
Yeah, it is. You want to open your eyes?
That's terrifying, actually. Some dead eyes.
So I don't know where this came from. Well, I know where it came from. It came from one of our coworkers' office, but Zach and Dan Mawini put it on my desk one day when I was on vacation so that when I came back home, this was sitting on my desk. So
and for those people who are only listening, what is this?
Oh, it is a mannequin head of a ginger woman. That's it. That can get screwed onto a desk.
The C-clamp on there is really intense for just a mannequin head.
It is.
It's like they never wanted it to ever move.
Right. So I'm going to put her head back on the floor because I don't know where we're going to put her up.
Why don't we just clamp her right on the table for now? She could join us.
Are you all right with that, Zach?
Third person.
Try right there. Yeah.
Right here. Okay. No,
that's a long hair.
I can't.
You got to extend the clamp.
Yeah. You want to keep talking while I do that?
Sure. I don't know. I don't think I want that in here, for the future. But we'll cross that bridge another time.
All right. Well,
we'll talk about this offline.
We're just gonna
lay her down.
Nice.
Her eyes are so creepy. I wish they were closed.
Imagine that's. It's staring at Zach.
Yeah. Seeing it out of the corner of my eye.
So her face has been staring at me as I work for probably the past 6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So Zach can deal with it because he put it on my desk. So sorry, Zach.
So we are set up Battleship style today because you and I were talking about making a Disney movie tier list of what we believe are the top Disney movies, animated specifically.
Animated specifically.
Yeah, not like Disney Channel, like Johnny Tsunami type movies.
Great movie.
Great movie. Brink, great movie.
Also great movie.
Yeah.
Xenon.
Girl of the 22nd century or 21st century.
21st century.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. You make my heart go boom, boom, boom. My Supernova Girl.
Amen.
Great song.
Great one.
So we have 2, 4, 6 different rankings. Starting from the bottom is not worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Second from the bottom is the rank doo-doo.
Nice.
The next ranking is cool, which would be a C.
Okay.
The next ranking, which would be a B, is better than 13 going on 30.
Great.
Then the A category is A+.
Love it.
And the S category for the top tier movies is superb.
Love it.
Superb movies.
Love it.
So, you want to go first, pick a movie, and tell me where you think it ranks, and then we'll talk about it?
Sure.
Go for it. Start us off.
I would say Pinocchio, not worth watching.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
Super creepy movie.
Yeah.
Just saying. That movie gave me nightmares as a kid. It is not. I forgot. I have control of this.
Yes.
I'm definitely moving Pinocchio there. Also, something I want to say is it's nice that they don't have any sequels on this list.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen all the sequels,
Yeah.
So.
Also, I didn't realize Wreck-It Ralph was a Disney movie.
I thought it was like Pixar or something.
Yeah.
Which there is a difference for those of you who think there's not.
Yeah.
Or not, is it Pixar or? Yeah, Pixar.
I thought Pixar was owned by Disney. Is it not?
It is, but it's different.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna say.
Are we still doing Not Worth Watching?
Oh, is that we wanted to get all those out of the way? I don't know. I was just gonna say. Like,
oh, okay. Go crazy.
So I'm going to start off with a strong one, in my opinion.
Okay.
This one, I kept my brother up at night singing the songs from this movie, and he would get so mad at me because we shared a bunk bed. Oliver and Company. I'd say that's A+.
I've never seen Oliver and Company, so
Really?
I'll trust you with that. I'll let you put it there.
Let's go. I'll put an A+. Oliver and Company.
Oh,
You don't think
Zach
it's A+?
disagrees.
Zach, you keep your mouth closed over there. You're not part of this conversation. All right, Andres, your turn. You go.
Okay. I am gonna go. Let's go with. Oh man, this is tough.
So many options.
So many. I am gonna at the Superb. I'm gonna go up top
Wow.
and move Meet the Robinsons up there.
You're going to Meet the Robinsons all the way to the top? Why would you bring that all the way to the top?
I love it's such a great movie. It comes together at the end. You kind of go through all the emotions. You feel sadness, joy, love, a feeling of belonging. And one of our core values, one of the things we say at Sanctuary is you belong here, right?
Yeah.
You know? So Zach says no.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I like Meet the Robinsons.
Okay.
I would put that as a better than 13 going on 30 type of movie.
Really?
But maybe
that's so low.
Yeah. It's well, no,
that's
technically
a third.
The third. It's B ranked.
It's B ranked. Superb is first.
Yeah. Andres, this immediately I realized we should have two different tier lists: your tier list and the correct tier list, which is mine.
I don't know.
All right, if I'm gonna jump up to an S tier to match you, you know what? No, I won't go that far. I'm gonna say Zootopia is doo doo.
Yeah, it's not really that great.
Andres, we're not supposed to agree on all these things.
Well, we didn't agree on Meet the Robinsons. All right, where you put that at doo doo?
Yeah, Zootopia is doo doo.
Great. Okay, so I would put. I'm looking. We can put Hercules at a better than. Oh no!
Why at a better than? First of all, I wasn't allowed to watch that movie as a kid because it was about Greek gods.
I love Greek gods.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch that. That and Pocahontas I wasn't allowed to watch either.
So sad. So I'm grateful that I had heathen parents then, because I got to watch all the things.
Yeah, tell me why you think it's a B. That's what I want to know. Like, I think it's a great movie. It's great intro to the movie with the what do they call it? The people on the pot. What are those? And I forgot. They're like they're on the pot. They're like dancing around. Can't remember what their name is.
I know what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter what it is, but they're amazing. They're like gospel singers. They're singing about
Yeah.
Hercules' story, killing hydras and all sorts of stuff.
It's great. I'm all for it, but I just don't. It's better than average. It's better than 13 going on 30.
You're correct. It's better than that, but it's also way better than that. Anyways, all right. I'm gonna go.
Oh, goodness.
I'm gonna go with an S tier. Big Hero 6.
I agree with your choices. You don't agree with mine.
It's
obviously.
fine. It's fine. Zach, how do you feel about that? Are you gonna disagree on that too? Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Zach's not a Disney movie guy. All right, go. You go now.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'll go doo-doo. Put Frozen on there.
Frozen at doo-doo. Are you serious? The soundtrack is amazing.
Literally, Kevin said Frozen is about witchcraft.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
I support Greek gods, not witchcraft.
Yeah, okay. Keep that up then. All right, you know what? Oh, man. I'm going to put Bolt at doo-doo, too. I don't know if you've ever seen Bolt.
It's not great.
Yeah,
it's pretty crappy.
It's a fake superhero dog.
Yeah. Miley Cyrus is in it.
Not worth it.
All right. What's A again?
A+.
A+. Lilo and Stitch.
Really?
I'm a big Lilo and Stitch fan.
Why?
It's just a great movie. Stitch brings all the feels. I have a Stitch on my desk. So I don't know if you knew that.
As an adult man, it's kind of creepy.
He's holding up a
weird.
So I bought it for my niece, but I liked it more. So it's a little Stitch. He's holding up an avocado.
That's cool.
Yeah, he just sits on my desk.
All right. I'm going to put the... Oh man, these are some good ones. It's so hard to not move more up to the S tier. I'm gonna put Robin Hood, the animated Robin Hood movie,
Right.
at S tier. You don't like Robin Hood?
Superb.
What?
That's
Yes,
superb.
Robin Hood and Little John run through the forest, laughing back and forth what the others got to say. Such a good song. Oodalali.
No, I disagree.
A plus? No, that
it's not
deserves to be S
superb.
tier. All right. I did too many S tiers in a row. You go now.
All right. We can put, oh man, we can put Chicken Little at a C.
I don't even think I've ever seen Chicken Little.
Oh, it's a good one, but it's not. It's nothing great. I don't think it's better than 13 going on 30.
The first C.
If I had to watch 13 going on 30 or Chicken Little, probably watch 13 going on 30.
All right. It's my turn then.
It is.
Snow White. I'm putting on not worth watching.
Yeah. Who really cares? Zach is very offended. Zach's a big fan.
You don't like Snow White either?
Yeah, it's like, okay. She eats an apple. She falls asleep.
I know.
Hangs out with a bunch of dwarves.
Yeah.
Zach, is it
lame
because
witch.
you're a short king? Amen. Me too.
You're up.
All right. I'm going to put at an A plus 101 Dalmatians.
Really?
Yeah, I love that movie. It's because I really like dogs, and my favorite Dalmatian was Lucky. I like actually had like the actual dogs, like not the actual dogs, but like stuffed animals of the dogs.
I still have bed sheets and pillowcases that are 101 Dalmatians from when I was a kid
No
that
way.
my kids use now. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, but I'm not that big of a fan.
Oh, that's weird.
Just a little bit.
You just had them as bed sheets.
I did. All right. I'm going to say A plus Aristocats.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Also, soundtrack, top tier. Love that movie.
I'm for it.
All right.
I'm for it.
I guess I need to defend it at all. You go now.
No, you're good. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. I would put Moana A plus.
That's fair.
Great.
I've seen Moana probably more than any other Disney movie at this point.
I've seen Moana like 7 or 8 times.
Why?
I just love the movie.
Oh, so you're watching it by yourself?
I've watched it by myself. Yes. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
All right.
Keep it going. Dumbo, I'm going to put at not worth watching.
No. Yeah. It's just a.
Zach is upset with everything that we're good with not watching.
I wish Zach had a microphone.
Me too.
It'd be great.
All right, you go.
So I would put Cinderella also at a not worth watching.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Where's Cinderella?
At the bottom, I think.
I'm going to put Alice in Wonderland down there too.
All right.
Zach's a fan of how much Alice in Wonderland's bad.
I think I would put it at doo-doo. I wouldn't put it at not worth watching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland? All right. Andres, I say we do 3 more movies each and then we're
Okay.
done.
I'm going to do ones I feel strongly about then.
Okay.
I would say Toy Story A.
Toy Story is just an A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even a huge fan of Toy Story.
Really?
I never really was. I'd say that's probably better than 13 going on 30 at the most.
I had both a Woody and a Buzz. I like those movies. So.
I think they got worse with each movie too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. My nephew was a big Toy Story kid, and I've watched all of them. I like all of them. I enjoy them. The last one they came out with when Andy was graduating from college, I was also graduating from college.
I haven't
Very
even seen
sad.
it.
Very sad.
I didn't even bother watching it.
Rough.
All right, for my 1 out of 3, I'm gonna say Bambi, not worth watching.
Yeah. I don't even think I've watched the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah, I don't. Bambi's mom died. Get over it. Let's keep going. You know.
All right.
Okay. All right. I'll save this one for last unless you take it.
Okay.
Emperor's New Groove. Superb.
I love Emperor's New Groove. It's funny because Emperor's New Groove is still relevant. Like people still talk about it. It's like a meme. Like pull
Yeah.
the lever, Kronk.
It's so funny.
Wrong lever. Right.
It's a great movie. I love Kronk.
It's great. All right. I'm about to hit you with 2 out of 3 right now.
Yep.
This is my favorite Disney movie of all time.
Oh man.
Should I say that for last, or should I do
No,
it?
you do whatever
All
you
right,
want.
okay. As capital S as it gets, Sword in the Stone.
Oh, I never watched it.
Gotta watch it. Zach likes it.
Zach likes it. All right.
I can't trust Zach's opinions on Disney movies, though.
All right. This is my third. This is my last.
This is your last one.
Wreck-It Ralph. No, I'm joking. I don't really care about Wreck-It Ralph. Lion King. Also superb. It is top tier. One of my favorite movies. Simba, 10 out of 10. Mufasa, 20 out of 10. It's got biblical themes in it.
Ooh.
It's great.
It's got James Earl Jones, too, the voice of
Exactly.
Darth Vader.
Exactly. And Mufasa.
That's who James Earl Jones is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
You said
okay.
the voice of Darth Vader. I said
Yeah.
and Mufasa. I was just
I
clarifying.
thought you
for-
meant and Mufasa was in the movie.
No.
All right. My last one. This one's also one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Tangled.
Oh, I love Tangled. Such
love
a sweet
Tangled,
movie.
All right, now, last thing.
Yes.
Your controversial doo-doo or not worth watching pick.
Man. I would say not worth watching, controversial. I feel like this is maybe not controversial for like us, maybe, but I would say like not worth watching, Fantasia. I feel like there are a lot of people, like a lot of diehard Disney fans that love Fantasia. I don't really care for it.
Yeah. I feel that same exact way about Tarzan.
Really?
I could never watch Tarzan again and be totally cool for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, and like people love talking up the soundtrack. They're like, "Oh, the soundtrack's
Phil Collins,
so good."
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil Collins. I want to know. Will you show me?
I like the one that talks about it's like the mom gorilla like singing about Tarzan. It's a sweet song.
It is a sweet song that I would rather never listen to again.
Okay. All right. Zach, do you have a not worth watching that's on the list? He's thinking about it.
It's really small. It's kind of hard to see.
Oh, that's impressive that you were doing that on your screen then.
Why?
Because they were small. They're pretty big on mine, so I
Oh.
can see all of them.
No, the rest are pretty good.
All right.
There is one more, which I don't know how many people have seen. It's called The Black Cauldron. It's actually on this list.
Yeah, that one's solid.
Yeah, have you seen Black Cauldron?
No, maybe.
It's this kid who has like a fortune-telling, future-seeing pig.
Oh, I've heard about it.
He has to run away with the pig because there's like a skeleton king with his like demon army who's
Yeah,
chasing
yeah.
them. It's a terrifying movie.
Rough. Disney, do better. Amazing.
This wasn't as fiery as I was expecting it to be.
It was. I mean, it did at times.
I don't think so. I think we were pretty like, nice about it.
Well,
I definitely disagree with some of the stuff, like
I mean,
101 Dalmatians.
I disagree with some of your stuff, but
That's
here
okay.
we are.
We'll fight about it later.
Sounds good. Civil conversation on
Yeah.
the podcast.
So you had a song you wanted to play.
Oh,
Do we want to play that?
I
Or do we wanna
did,
skip
but
it?
I don't know if people will understand.
Oh, okay. So, Andres, recently there's been some news that's come out about you,
Yes.
and we want to give you this opportunity to clear the air,
Oh, good. Thanks.
and,
Appreciate it.
Get ahead of the narrative.
Yeah.
So, what have you been wanting to say in your view of things? That makes it sound
It's
super
so
bad.
so bad. It could be great clickbait.
Yeah.
No, it's been announced that I am taking the Ignite position at Sanctuary, and I am super excited. Also a little sad. I guess the news that broke out for my high schoolers might be that I'm rejecting them and leaving forever. But as far as everyone else, people are pretty excited, and most of my high school students are pretty excited as well
Why do you think they're excited?
because they get to still be with me years later, or they're just excited to get rid of me. So that's okay too.
I think some of them are excited because they're like 4 more years of Andres.
Yes, and some of them are like, no more years.
No, elect him for a second term.
No, I did. It's cool. I had a couple high school students who came up to me who were like, one of them came up to me and said 4 more years. The other ones came up to me and said, I still have to deal with you. And then another one came up to me and said, just so you know, I'm going to Sacred Heart and I'm going to be in the nursing program and I'm bringing all of my nursing tears to you. So they're pumped. I'm excited.
Kind of seems like a lot of pressure too.
It
You're
does.
You're gonna have all these nurses, which actually could be nice if there's some sort of like
Emergency.
injury, accident, something like
Yeah,
that.
because I wouldn't know what to do. I don't like blood.
You'll be the pastor of the first responders.
That's right. I'm CPR certified, but I wouldn't trust me.
Yeah, CPR AED certified. Which, do you remember what that stands for?
No.
Automated external
Defibrillator.
You just copied me. You were just copying what I was saying, just like a half second behind.
Exactly.
So how did you get to this choice? Like, what was your
this
process?
choice? Yeah,
like
no,
this transition point.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I've talked to a couple of people over time who have kind of been like, oh, like you're moving on up, like you're just going on to better. But the hard thing is that I didn't come to this decision because I didn't like high school ministry or I was upset with my position. I actually really love high school ministry. I thought that I was going to do it for another 4 to 5 years. But there's just kind of, what's really cool is I think the Lord kind of naturally transitions people's hearts and gets them ready for what's next. So about a year ago when the Asbury revivals broke out, I just remember kind of listening to everything that was going on. And there was something inside of me that was like, man, I miss being on the college campus. I think college ministry is unique. I did it all kind of 4 years of my college years and then thought I was going to do it post-grad. And I started to have this like longing for college campuses, but also was like, oh, I work with high school students, so maybe it's getting our high school students prepared to leave. So I kind of stifled that down, kept doing ministry. And then in November, we kind of, the church, well, earlier, probably around this summer, the church really started to talk about the intern program and how they wanted to see that advance and grow. But leading a high school ministry and leading an intern program that we want to see grow is something that it's basically 2 full-time jobs. So I was trying to juggle both and felt like I wasn't doing both necessarily well. And a good friend of mine in November had asked me, actually Carolyn DeLeo, who, have we had her on the podcast? Yeah, we have.
Not since I've been here, no.
Oh, Kevin did in the past.
Throwback. Go watch
Previous
Carolyn's
seasons.
episode.
Yeah. Had asked me like, oh, would you ever consider doing the like college ministry and the intern program? I feel like that makes more sense. I thought about it, but was like, I can't see myself doing that for a couple years. I really love what I do now. In December, the Lord had spoken to me specifically at a Christmas party we had for my adult leaders and had asked me how I was going to tell my leaders that it was time for me to go. And I remember just kind of like tearing up at that thought, but also was like, this is stupid. I'm not going anywhere. In January, I visited a friend of mine who leads a college ministry who I was involved with his discipleship. I was a senior when he was a freshman. And he had asked me about our college age ministry, what we do, and was like, if you could do anything with it, what would you do? And I for 30 minutes laid out my whole plan of what I would do. And at the end of it, I was like, but no, that doesn't really matter because I do high school ministry. And then in February, I was thinking about the fact that we have annual reviews where Kevin tells us how bad we are at things. One of the questions in our annual review is kind of like, where do you see yourself at BlackRock? How can kind of our senior staff leaders help us get there? And I considered telling Kevin that I wanted to do college ministry in 4 to 5 years. So as I was driving into church, was kind of talking to the Lord about it, and it was a lot of me talking. The Lord wasn't saying much. And I pulled into a parking spot and just said to the Lord, you know what? I'm not going to ask for this. If anyone wants me to do this, they can ask. I'm not going to verbally ask for it. And literally 2 days later, Kevin took me out to lunch and was like, hey, would you ever consider taking the Ignite position? And God had just been kind of speaking so clearly to me that in that moment, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And Kevin was like, no, go home. Take a week, pray about this. This is a big choice. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. But I know I'm at 90% of saying yes. The 10% would just be in my own personal time, the Lord affirming the choice that he's already been leading me down.
That's cool that God was speaking to you in advance, preparing your heart. Cause it's a big deal and it's really hard to just release a ministry that you've been pouring yourself into, all those relationships with the leaders, not just the kids. Cause the kids come and go, but the leaders stay.
Yeah.
And, cause kids graduate every 4 years. There's no There's no keeping them back.
Yeah. It's definitely like when I told my leaders, I cried. A lot of my leaders are really great friends of mine. They've been with me most of them have been with me for about 3 years. Some of them have been with me the whole 4.5 years. And I've grown really amazing friendships with them. It's also really unique when you do ministry with your friends, but also with leaders who, like, high school students go through some really rough stuff. So when you've sat in a hospital with one of your students and one of their leaders, there's just a kind of a bond that you build. And also when you go through like really amazing highs, you get to pray for students and watch them go do crazy things. There's just a bond that you build that is really unique. And then like leaving high school students, like these kids have been a really big part of my life. I don't have kids, but my mom is always really big at reminding me, like, you may not have like actual, like you haven't birthed, I wouldn't birth kids anyways, but like you don't have biological kids, but you have been the parent to over 100 kids for years now. And that's just a good reminder. I care about these kids a lot. They mean a lot to me.
And it's cool you get to see them through their next phase.
Yeah. That's also exciting, is I get to keep walking with them.
Yeah. And so, Zach, if you can get Introducing Me by Nick Jonas queued up. And while he gets that queued up,
Yeah.
what's your relationship with cheese?
With cheese?
Yeah, because you were singing this song. This is like your intro song.
Yeah.
And it seems like
It's just a bop.
that was the one lyric you kept singing over and over again.
Yeah, Zach, it should be on the Camp Rock album. It's a great.
You're a big Joni bro?
I can't say that I am, but I'm a big hopeless romantic. So I like, this is on, like, I have a playlist set for like when I meet my future wife that I want to give her.
and this is on
this is on it. It's so cheesy. Zach doesn't like it. Are we?
Ooh.
Such a bop.
So what's the situation that you're introducing this song to your future wife? You're like, hey, I love you. Listen to this.
That's right. Just listen to the lyrics.
Is that true?
Yes.
I've seen you eat cheese on other things.
Sometimes on a homemade quesadilla. I like making homemade quesadillas. It's just such a stupid song, but I love it.
So why would you want your wife to listen to this?
Because it shares the inner sides of my heart. I am both really romantic, but also really silly. Zach, we don't have to keep playing it.
So this song you would describe as romantic and silly?
Romantic and silly.
Where's the romance?
He's like singing to her about like introducing himself to her, like what he wants to. Yeah.
Because this is the type of song that I imagine he wrote it looking in a mirror. He was like,
Probably.
listen up, self.
But so when he's singing it to a girl.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's playing his guitar.
And so why is this fitting for?
Because the whole song's just called Introducing Me. Or introducing me to Ignite students.
So like, are you good eating cheese on pizza and in a homemade quesadilla, or does that?
No,
sit
yeah.
well?
He says I eat cheese, but only on pizza.
Yeah.
Sometimes on a homemade quesadilla.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is like if you want people to know certain things about you.
I am lactose intolerant.
Okay, see, that's important.
So I shouldn't eat cheese.
Unless you have lactate.
But I rarely ever carry lactate, so.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. When you come to a pizza party to celebrate Andres' arrival,
just have lactate ready.
Have a lactate pill ready.
That's what Kyle Packnick's for. Kyle Packnick always has lactate.
I always think he's pulling out like a wet nap that you used to get in elementary school in those little tiny like packages.
But it's just
lactate. I was like, wow, he really wants to have his hands clean for whatever he's about to eat.
Yep.
Nope. He's just preparing his body.
Amen. As he should.
So you talked about, I don't remember if it was here or if it's just in our conversations, the role that the college ministry played in your life when you were in Florida. Yeah. So do you want to just expand on that for people that don't know? Yeah,
totally. So when I was in high school, I gave my life to Jesus pretty early. I was around 14, 13, early years of high school, but didn't really get involved with a local church until my senior year. I got involved here at Black Rock. But I had this idea of kind of walking with Jesus, that I could go to college and Throughout high school, I didn't really live like the typical high school experience. I didn't go to parties, didn't drink, didn't smoke. And my idea of like, okay, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to experience college for what it's worth. But also I love Jesus too much to like fully commit. So I had this idea that I would kind of live for Jesus on Sundays, but then Monday through Saturday, I would live however I wanted to. And I tried that for the first like 2-3 weeks of college, and made some stupid decisions. I still didn't go to like parties or anything because I was also like, I didn't want to drink until I was 21. So I was like, that's stupid. Why would I go? Didn't go to clubs or anything. We had like a strip of clubs in Tampa that's called Ybor City. But I like just made a lot of stupid decisions with girls. And eventually went to church one Sunday, took a taxi there because I didn't know anything else. I went to this church called the Underground Network because it sounded really cool.
It does sound cool. Also, was this before Uber?
Yeah.
Is that why you took a
it was
taxi?
before Uber.
Did you have to call somebody for that?
Yeah, I did. I had to call. I forget what number. I forget. It was like, I don't remember what number I called. I don't know if it was down there, if it was like 211 or 711.
That's 7-Eleven.
Yes, I know.
Get some taquitos while you're at it.
And I went, and what's really cool is as soon as I got there, they knew I was new because it was maybe like a church of like 120 people. And so they talked to me, and I was like, yeah, I go to the University of Tampa, took a taxi here. And they were like, dude, like, why'd you take a taxi here? Like, we actually have a group of InterVarsity kids. At the time, I didn't know what InterVarsity was, but it was a college ministry that drive here. They carpool here every Sunday. So they introduced me to the InterVarsity staff, Josh Hopt. And from that moment on, I like got plugged in with this college community, campus ministry, and my life was forever changed. I went on a conference called Sunburst.
That's cool. Is that just a Florida thing?
Yeah, I guess so. They actually wanted to change it my senior year, and I was radically against it.
Change it to what? Sunbelt Rentals?
No, they changed it to Meta.
That's weird.
Yeah, but it was after like metanoia, so talking about like transformation and change.
Ooh.
But I hated it. I love Sunburst. So I went to Sunburst. I went to a seminar on sex, dating, and singleness that wrecked my heart. And just showed me how much grace I needed from the Lord and how much grace the Lord was willing to give me because of choices I had made throughout high school and college, or early college. And then I also went to a breakout session that they had specifically for Latino students. I have a whole, if you ever want to hear about my journey with learning how to love my ethnic identity, I would love to talk to people about that. But it was the first time that I had ever felt like I loved the fact that I was Latino and that God had created me Latino on purpose. And from there, I like my relationship with Jesus just grew so close. I was super involved. So this isn't normal in campus ministry, but my second semester being on campus, I was leading a Bible study specifically for Latino students. By my junior year, I was the president of our org. I was interning at our church down in Florida. I also had interned at BlackRock, and I thought I was going to go on staff and do college ministry for the rest of my life because of how much I love doing college ministry.
At the Underground Church?
Yeah. Because they really supported InterVarsity. They supported 3 different InterVarsities because one was for University of Tampa, one was for University of Southern Florida, and the other one was for HCC, which was our...
Housatonic Community College. Let's go!
No, I forget what the H was, but it was one of the community colleges down there. But I loved it. I loved everything about college ministry, the discipleship, staying up late, talking about Jesus, going around campus, even though part of me really hated it, but I really enjoyed getting to stretch myself and talk to college students about like their relationship with God, asking people to come to our events. It was just a really fun time.
That does sound cool.
Yeah.
So how close, like, this just random question. How close were like all these colleges to the church? Because like, that's crazy investing in 3 different intervarsities for one church to do.
Yeah. They were, so Underground was maybe like 5 or 6 miles away from us, from University of Tampa. I would say HCC was probably like a mile down the road from the church.
Whoa.
And then USF was probably the furthest campus. It was probably I would say like going from like Fairfield to like where we are at Black Rock Church, going to like downtown Bridgeport.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's all within proximity of like Sacred Heart and Fairfield U from Black Rock. You could say.
Yeah.
And just maybe a little bit past Fairfield U.
I would say if it maybe was like the equivalent of like Fairfield U, Sacred Heart, and then if you did Housatonic Community College, like literally it works out.
HCC. It's coming.
That's
coming
it.
with the trifecta. That's what we need. And then we'll have more Andreses.
Amen.
Once a church. Also, if we change our name to something like trendy, right?
Well, the cool part was the church was in an old cigar factory.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Did it smell like a cigar?
No, it did not.
So something that I learned about when I was in late high school was third-hand smoke. I don't know, like that's what they were calling it. But so second-hand smoke was what we were aware of when we were kids. That like if your parents, lots of people smoked when I was growing, even in high school, like cool kids still smoked all the time.
Yeah.
And like you'd open up the bathroom in high school and a puff of smoke would come out. You smell like cigarettes all day after just peeing once. Yeah, it was terrible. And so secondhand smoke, we'd all freak out as kids, like in the smoking section of restaurants and stuff. You'd be in the non-smoking section, and all there'd be was like a short little piece of glass on top of the booths.
I remember that. Yeah,
the smoke would come right over. Like, who invented that? It didn't work very well, right?
It's like COVID.
And, yeah, kind of, yeah. And so we all knew to be scared of secondhand smoke, but thirdhand smoke is what they started calling it. It was like the dust left behind from people smoking.
Oh.
And so like little kids, they put everything in their mouth. So like their toys, their parents are smoking, the smoke is falling onto toys, and then the kids are putting the toys in their mouth and they're like ingesting smoke dust.
Oh, that's gross.
Which is like carcinogens to the max, right?
Yeah. So maybe I was getting thirdhand smoke while I was worshiping the Lord.
Hey.
Except I wasn't putting anything in my mouth.
That'd be weird. Anyways, so Andres, why, like, you could see leading up to this why you'd be excited to work in this position because of what college ministry meant to you while you were in college. So why are you excited about this? What makes you excited? I'm
excited about it. So something I've learned over the past couple of years, and it was a unique process. I get really excited when we have interns here. Interns are a lot of work for me, but there was something unique about being in a position where I had college students here who were excited about growing in their faith and who wanted to know more about who Jesus was, how to like walk their faith out. And I would just find myself becoming more alive. I love sitting with students, even high school students who are like on fire in their faith saying, hey, I want to grow more. What can I do? And the unique part about college ministry is that most people at the college age, nobody's forcing them to come to church. Nobody's telling them they have to come to church. They're making the choice to say, hey, I want to be involved. I want to be here, which means they want to grow. Even if they're like, kind of like, hey, I'm curious about knowing more about Jesus. At least they're curious. Some high schoolers, middle schoolers, like they come to church because their parents drag them here. They tell them that they have to be here. So I'm excited because I think what I love is being in a place where people are excited to grow, where people are excited to know more about Jesus. And then the like exciting part is they're getting ready to become like actual adults. I would still say like 18 to 21, 22, like you're still kind of like getting your feet wet with experiencing the world. But you're getting ready for that next step of entering into adulthood, paying your own bills, figuring out kind of what real life looks like without the safety net of home or college dorm. Most kids still have their parents paying like their bills at that point. So it's an exciting time to step in and say like, hey, what does the future look like? Where is God calling you? How do you take Jesus into the real world? Which you can do with high school students. But there's still a 4-year gap in between. And I think the unique part about being in college ministry, watching people take their next steps into like adulthood and life is what excites me most. And I think about the discipleship I did in college, and I actually just listened to a message that one of my friends, so Sam, who leads this college ministry, his wife also works at their church. And she just gave a message at their church, and I listened to it this morning and was just thinking back to, like, I caught Sherry when I was an RA. She wouldn't care with me sharing the story. I caught her in a room with a bunch of her friends drinking when I was an RA and she was a freshman. and to see how God has like redeemed and moved in her life to the point where she works at a church, and she's like giving a message about discernment and how to discern when something's from the Lord or when it's not. It's just a really cool moment to know, like, man, I get the opportunity to walk with students as they kind of deal with the pressures of college, but also walking them through what it looks like to live for Jesus.
That is so cool. Like, just thinking about growing up in a Christian family too, like, you say in middle school and in high school at different points, you're like, oh man, I'm making my faith my own. Like, I'm ready to be baptized, you know? Like, I'm not believing this because my parents believe it. But then you go to college, and many people, especially around here, go out of state. There's some sort of weird shame about going to a school in state.
Got to get away from Connecticut. That's what I thought.
I disagree. I think if the only reason why you get out of Connecticut is to experience how bad other places are, and then you realize, you know what, Connecticut's actually great. I'm going back. And but when you leave and you go away from home, and you're just living away from your parents, and you have this moment where you realize, oh, I could be anybody I want to be, because there's no one around that knows who I was or who my parents are. No one's going to call back to my parents and be like, you won't believe what Russ just did, right? Because nobody knows my parents. So I went through that. And like you were saying, it's like, well, I'm going to try to live this other life because maybe I'm actually missing out on something. I think a lot of college students and college age students are going through that same thing because they're having this experience where they could reinvent themselves and be whoever they want to be. Yeah. And then they also realize, they're like, you know what? That person, I need to be going and getting connected in a church community. Yeah. And so it's cool. Yeah. Like, no one's twisting their arm to go anymore. The same kids that their parents may have forced them to go to youth group or forced them to go to church their whole life, now they're like seeking it out themselves because they actually want it. Yeah. I think that's really cool that you're able to be there for them.
Yeah. Well, and the awesome part, thinking about Baptism Sunday that we had, right? There were like 3 or 4 people who shared about like trying to find themselves in college or trying to figure out who they were, figuring out this missing piece of them.
The missing pita. Maybe that's a big old scoop of hummus in there.
And like encountering Jesus in the midst of that and realizing that Jesus was the very thing that they missed, or that was missing in their lives. And like, that's what excites me. And in knowing too, like, there are a couple of people who talked about their friends bringing them to church. Like, I love that there are people who come to Ignite, but in this, like, Ignite isn't just for them. It's actually for their friends who are in need of Jesus. And the goal is to say, like, hey, like, you found Jesus. One of my favorite stories, and it was kind of like hammered into my head throughout my time in campus ministry, was the story of the woman at the well. And the fact that she encounters Jesus, finds this man who she says, you know, he told me everything about myself, right? And because of that, she gives her life to him and then runs back to her village to say, come meet the man who like told me everything about myself, like come experience him. And like, that's my goal of college ministry, is that as students get to come and as like college age people get to come here, that they would experience the love of Jesus and wouldn't just take it for themselves, but would run back to their friends who are in need of something more and say, I know exactly what you need, and it's Jesus. So that's my hope. And as we've kind of been like developing vision and stuff for what, you know, is next, like, that's really one of my big things, is that this place would be almost like a hub to come, learn, be equipped, and then be sent back out to these places that are in desperate need of Jesus.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what are, going into the summer, what are some plans for our like Ignite people, like college age people? What do we have going on?
Yeah, so we are still kind of just deciding what day we're going to do it, but starting at the end of June, we are going to start meeting once every other week and doing kind of some community time for me to get to know people. I know that we're going to have a lot of our college students who left, who are coming home, so providing something for them, but also getting to meet some of the students who are still here. But then also most likely doing some Bible study stuff, really digging into Scripture and taking time to learn what it looks like to study Scripture. And then We will also have some fun events that we'll get to kind of take part of. Again, I really just want to spend time getting to know our college age students and college age people around. And then the other thing I would recommend is come out to midweek. Like, come spend time with Sanctuary at midweek.
What day is that?
That is on Thursday nights. Is at 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock, and dinner is provided.
Dinner provided. It's a quality time.
What? When's it start?
I don't know. When does it start? I haven't started working with you guys yet. We're trying to get Zach to tell us when it
Zach, tell
starts.
us when it starts. Any second now.
Any
Sorry,
second now.
You keep talking. While
But also something I'm excited about, if you don't know me well, I love hanging out with people, going out with people, grabbing food. If you're a college age student, if you're between the ages of 18 to 24 and you're like, man, I would love to get to know more about you, hear your vision for kind of Ignite. Like, I'd love to go out, grab food. But also my plans after midweek is to say, like, hey, if a group of Ignite kids want to go grab food, let's go grab food. Like, let's hang out. I'll probably do some like pizza nights at my house for a couple kids if they want to come over.
or some quesadillas.
Or some homemade quesadillas. I would love to hang out more with college age students. So
That's awesome. Did we find out what day it starts? You gonna tell us or no? June 13th.
what a day.
June 13th, Thursday, 7 p.m. The back patio behind Black Rock Church in Fairfield. Come out, eat some grilled food. Actually, the food's gonna change every couple weeks. So
Wow, that's exciting.
yeah. So Andres,
Yep.
that pretty much wraps it up, right? I just
Yeah.
have like one more question to ask you.
Oh man.
So if you had to get rid of one forever, would you replace bacon with turkey bacon, or a beef burger with a turkey burger, and you could never have it again? Like, you could never have a beef burger again if you chose that one, but you'd have normal bacon, or you have turkey bacon and never have real bacon again. What'd you say?
Zach said that's easy.
Zach said it's easy.
Oh man.
You had to replace one.
That's hard. Do you know what I had for dinner last night?
What'd you have for dinner last night?
I had a bacon cheeseburger.
A bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah, so it's really hard.
So yeah, you'd either have a turkey burger with bacon or a beef burger with turkey bacon.
I'd do beef burger, turkey bacon.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what you would say, Zach? That's just surprising.
What would you choose?
I don't know. I couldn't decide.
Were you just holding that question in your head for a little
We
bit?
were talking about cheese, and I was thinking about it.
This whole time.
Well, just for the past couple minutes.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a question you want to ask me to end? I feel like it's only important for people to know you because,
Oh, okay.
people probably know me at this point.
They probably do. No, I don't have a question for you.
All right, cool. Andres, I feel like you did a great job
Actually, I
today.
do have a question for you. Sorry. So if you had to choose to only watch Care Bears, or what's the unicorn, Zach?
My Little Pony?
My Little Pony. There you go. Or My Little Pony for the rest of your life. Those are the only two choices
right.
you had.
Okay, well, based on the fact that there are like whole conventions of My Little Pony for adults,
Sure.
I feel like probably that would make sense. Like, it must be good enough for people to watch.
Would you be a brony?
Well, if it was the only thing I was watching,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm a fan in general of like things.
Sure.
So if I was like really into it, I probably would.
Nice.
I'd probably cosplay a little bit.
Wild. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
Well, because I don't think there's like a big Care Bear following for adults, right?
Not that we know of.
All right, see ya.
Cool. Talk to you guys later.
I don't need you as much as I need to, and I don't